Oh, we were so young then.
I know. We were so sexy in our younger days.
Youth.
Our youth.
I was so beautiful back then. How you doing, man?
Good, good. I used to be so innocent. Used to be so innocent.
Yeah, right. What are you drinking? You drinking?
I'm drinking. I'm drinking. I'm going old school tonight. I've got a little Jim Beam.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nice. I'm sipping on a Merlot. Just enjoying myself. Trying
Nice.
to get over this damn cold that's been plaguing me for a week.
Oh, I know, man. Somebody gave us the plague for sure. I mean,
Hold on. I want to posit a theory, and I want to hear your reaction to it. But first, let's give a shout out. Stephanie, how are you, my dear? Rick, good to see you, my man. Warlock Otto, what up?
what it is, yo?
What it is, what it has been. Here's my thought.
Okay, okay.
This is a fear of mine. This is something I do every time I get sick. I try to trace back the origins of the sickness, the
Oh, God.
cause of the sickness.
That's great. That's great.
I think it might have something to do with me pulling the nail out of the blockhead's nose with my teeth, and then spreading it like a
But
zombie virus.
how did you spread it after you received it?
See, I think just normal interaction.
Uh,
And then here's another thought.
yeah.
Someone in that ritual was sick. And so
Yeah.
when we were passing
Yeah.
the cup, we all took a sip of the sickness. Come on, get down with the sickness.
So it had to be somebody before me standing in line. So I keep trying to pin that down. Could only be 4 people. And I know who you are. You motherfuckers, it'll come back.
Jeremy, yeah. Well, to be fair, life isn't worth living if you're not licking a few doorknobs.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, that's possible. Stephanie, I don't think it was from the tickle fight. That was pure pleasure.
It was all pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
I felt no sickness at that time.
That was funny. Yeah, so I think it's been like plaguing me. Like it's been a really bad cold.
Oh, it's been awful, man. Like I felt it in my lungs. And just when I think I'm getting over it, I get up and do like the 20 different nose sprays, so I'm high as a fucking kite anyway. And then everything's cleared out, but then at night I lay down and it all comes back, and it's like,
Yeah.
and yeah, it makes bedtime really rough.
Indeed. I'm right with you, man. I know exactly how you feel. Exactly. However, cold aside, we
Yeah.
just passed a milestone holiday. It was Halloween last week.
Oh, it
I
definitely
haven't
was.
talked about it with anyone, and I'm dying to talk about Halloween. So,
Yeah.
can you tell me how yours was?
Mine was great. Mine was great. I didn't have to go into work. I worked from home that day. So I didn't have to get involved with all these other plagues from the other mortals out there, which is always good.
They're mortals.
The mortals. And, but it was cool. I did take my daughters up to trick or treat at our work because it was super freaking cold here.
Wait, at your work?
Yeah, yeah.
Like from office space to office space?
Yeah, we have an enormous building that we work in. I mean, it's like 4 floors of fun, and it's enormous. It's like this.
Wait a second. Are they like just walking up to people's cubicles and getting like staplers or something? Like, what is it?
No, man, our work goes all out. So they have costume contests.
What?
Yeah, and every department does its own theme. So everybody kind of plans together, and they put together a little skit and
They put
try.
together skits?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, except IT, because IT people are really lame when it comes to that. We're all like, no, I'm going to crawl in my shell, and I'm not acting, you know. So most of the time, IT is not even in the building during these festivities.
Right.
Hence me working from home.
Wow.
But yes, so I did take the girls up. They got to wear their costume. They got to trick or treat inside, and we did take them out at night to walk around some, and got to go in through the 20-degree weather I think we were having.
Wow.
It was fucking cold.
Yeah.
It was fucking cold.
Wow.
But yeah, so but that was it. You know, we dressed up into the. I think I sent you a picture maybe of us, and for all you folks out there with kids and no descendants, I was Hades. If you don't know what you're missing. Look me up on Twitter. You can see all the fun fabulous pictures.
Yeah, I appreciated the accidental dick pic. I'm assuming it was accidental before I accidentally got that like right one.
Sure it was.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I owed you one. I mean, you got me.
First of all, I gift mine, so I don't expect anything back ever.
That wasn't how it seemed.
I'm spreading the joy, a good laugh, out into the world when I send mine. No, did you have trick or treaters come to your house?
We did. After we did our little trick or treating, we came home and had the lights on, and the girls love handing out candy. So there was a lot of seemed like older kids,
drug dealers in training.
Yeah. You got to get them prepared.
Did the older kids that visited you have outfits?
Yes, they were all dressed up.
Man, that actually makes me more angry. Okay, so Halloween is my favorite holiday outside of my birthday.
Yeah.
Which I don't really so much like celebrate as just crawl in a corner and become madly depressed.
Right.
So I don't know if I can really say I enjoy it. But I love Halloween, man. I love Halloween so damn much. I love it because Halloween to me is like Christmas is for most people, where it's like a month. Like the whole month is Halloween to me, and it all builds up slowly and ultimately into the celebration of the trick-or-treating. Like that is my glory of experience.
Right.
Year after year, trick-or-treating has become less and less. And this year, we had like 10 kids visit our house, and 9 out of the 10 weren't really even dressed as anything. They had like hoodies or some shit. I was just like, what the fuck? I feel like I was robbed. I was robbed of my favorite holiday, and building up to it, to boot. Like I wasn't in the zone. Like normally I'm in the Halloween zone. I wasn't in it this year. There's something off about this year for me with this holiday, and it all came to this wonderfully painful crescendo of nothing happening. So I'm watching Halloween on TV, watching the kids have the Halloween that I want.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening in real life, and I'm watching Trick or Treat, all these little wonderful short stories in this anthology film. Enjoying the hell out of it, watching a Halloween that should be, and realizing my real life is miserably shit compared to a goddamn film, because this year was so damn bad with Halloween. I didn't even dress up. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
I just, whenever the door knocked, I threw on a mask. But
that alone depresses me, man. Like, your costume last year, I think it was so badass. The satanic priest you did,
dude,
was awesome. But yeah, the few kids we had, they were into it. It was enthusiastic. I think our numbers were down because the mall that is very close to us, they had trick or treat at the mall, and since it's so fucking cold, all the kids went there, and I think it's a way some parents, they buy into all the people putting drugs in their kids' candy, which is
Can we
bullshit.
squash that really quick for everyone? No one
Yes.
has ever in the history of the universe put their drugs into some kid's candy. And you know why? Because people who have drugs like to take them. They don't give them away. They cost
Yeah.
money.
We're not wasting drugs on your kids. Get the
Waste
fuck
not,
over.
want not, heroin. Mhm.
But yeah, that tended to be the thing. So we sat around. We had some Halloween movies on. We tried warming up afterwards. Had some hot chocolate actually, and a whole lot of candy. And
Yeah.
yeah, just enjoyed the time. And we were talking. We think next year we're going to extend. How Christmas, and this is something that's really pissing me off this year. All the stores have Christmas shit out. November 1st,
Yep.
went into a store and they had Christmas
We
music.
saw some in October.
Oh, fuck that.
They're
So
infringing on our holiday.
I know, motherfucker. So we're going to start infringing on theirs in our house. We're going to put up a Halloween tree
Oh.
beginning of October, and we're going to keep that some bitch up all through November and December.
I dig it.
It's going to be fucking spooktacular at
Oh
Vanderbilt.
yeah, man. You know what you should do is theme the month that the Halloween tree is draped as.
Yeah.
So for like Halloween, do traditional Halloween stuff, candy corns and pumpkins or whatever, little black cats and bats and stuff. But for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, you could do it where it's like body parts from all of the murdered indigenous peoples.
That's a good idea.
Natives,
Good
that
idea.
all of the Spanish and English and French and Italians came over from the old world and slaughtered so that they could have this
Yeah.
land.
We'll honor those fuckers yet.
Death on a tree. That'll be great.
It'd
That's
be
a really
one-
good idea, though.
Yeah, yeah, and then December, then we can start hanging. Jesus is upside down on our tree. That'd be wonderful.
Is that a star? No, that's Jesus, honey. He's just upside down. You can see his pee-pee from the flipped up cod piece or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeebus.
Yeah, do you wonder? I think that had to be like one of the worst parts of being, aside from the whole suffocating and death thing, of being crucified. Is that you were just sort of exposed, right, to the elements?
Yeah.
Like anyone could just come up and rip it out, and you're like, "No, it's cold. Don't judge me." And they're like, "No, it's not. Ha ha, small penis." And you're just like, "Okay, I got to live with this, but I'm gonna be dead. So thanks for being a dick before I die." Like it's a weird. I feel like that would be a bad, like it would be similar to in all of those old films where you saw Puritans like put in the public square, and they're like put in those head and arm brackets and stuff. Little kids coming up and kicking them or throwing cabbages, or lots of cabbages back in the day.
Lots of
Apparently,
cabbages.
like just cabbages for fucking days and tomatoes for days. But they were just like pelting these poor town square people that were being brought out as punishment, and adding insult to injury, they would get rotten vegetation to the eye. I feel like that's the same thing for crucifixion, right? Except they probably weren't throwing cabbages. It was probably rocks.
Yeah.
There was a lot of just like a lot of testicle being crushed.
Oh yeah, that would just suck.
God. Like,
I don't know. I mean, and maybe you're one of those people who are into the pain, so maybe hit me
you're
again.
getting off.
Oh, one more time.
What if you had like one really twisted person that just came up and started like jerking it, and you're like, "No, stop it! I don't like you. This is gross. You're dirty. You're filthy." And you're just like, "Okay, wait, maybe just let it ride for a minute.
Yeah. Well,
Let's finish this out and then get away from me."
yeah. I mean, if you think about it, if you know you're going to die, right? You're bleeding out and everything. It's like, why not one last jerk? I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fucking.
Do me a solid down there, will you?
Just give it a few tugs.
See, there's nothing. I can't do anything. Just help hook a brother up.
Yeah. Oh, the blasphemy is thick tonight.
Weird. Yeah, it was a horrible. Do you have a go-to trick-or-treating Halloween movie? Like when, let me put it like this, because when people come to the door, they get a sense of the ambiance that you have in your house.
Right.
Is there a film that you prefer to be playing during that time?
Uh, yes. With kids in mind, though, just since we have our kids, it's usually Hocus Pocus.
Oh, really?
They would watch that movie. Well, they do watch that movie year round. So usually that's what they're asking to watch
Yeah.
and whatever, and they're saying all the lines and all that stuff. I mean, it's super
You
super
know, I've
cute.
never actually seen that film.
Really,
Yeah,
it's
not once. I
you
mean
know
to. I just never have.
it's got some funny parts.
Yeah.
Some definite funny parts. I mean, if it was up to me, I would say Halloween is
Hmm.
probably one of my favorite Halloween movies, and it's one of the only ones I think I've actually watched with my wife all the way through because she doesn't really dig scary movies. So
Something wrong with you, Steph.
she just afraid. She's just afraid.
She's just
Or
scared. She's
the
scared.
Blair Witch Project. That thing is still fucking scary.
It's so good though.
It
We
is.
just watched that with my daughter,
Did you?
and I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I think it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, she was like, "That was kind of boring."
yeah. It totally
Well,
is.
yeah, for the first part of it, but you got to get sucked into the character and the story
Right.
and the backstory of the area and the Blair Witch and all the mythology, and she's just like, "Okay." And at
Well,
the very end, she was excited because all the action, but
yeah. Well, do kids these days not get what it's like to, have the video camera and all that, like to find something that looks that shitty and not knowing because they have all
it's
the
true.
media right
Yeah,
at their hands. So maybe to us old folks who remember VHS
old
recorders
fogies.
more, yeah. It's all just like it scares the shit out of us. Like, yeah, fuck that. It's
That's a good point. I never thought about that. I was, this was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I showed a video that I recorded when I was in Germany about a guy doing a trick at a party, sniffing a condom through his mouth and like through his nose and having it come out of the mouth and doing that with it.
yeah.
It wasn't used. He opened the package new and
Oh,
found it,
good.
just to make sure everyone was understood.
I
And
took it off, gave
they
it
were
to him.
like shocked that I had a video from back then.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, that was in 2000. Of course they
Right.
had video then. He's like, but how did you upload it to YouTube? Like, all right, now I'm not that old. Like, you guys understood there were things called camcorders, and these camcorders had cables that you could plug into them called
Yeah.
AV cables that you put into a VCR or you put into a computer. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not like chiseling stone. Like, I don't understand the freaking
It's
people.
making hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
Interpreting it.
Dogs My Co-Pilot says any of Vincent Price's films. I
Ah,
like that.
yes.
That's good. House on
Yeah,
Haunted Hill is my favorite.
That was, I hate to admit it, but I had never seen that until I watched it with you. And that was absolutely one of the best movies I have ever seen, I think.
That's great.
It's
great.
so awesome.
It's
So
great and fun. It's just like
Yeah.
watching the only guy who's ever been in that actual house and had personally experienced death through his relations slowly descend into madness. You have this maniacal gentleman who sets up this elaborate party for purportedly for his wife who already tried to murder him. And then he gives out party gifts of revolvers with rounds in them. Like,
Oh, it's so great.
it's so good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Abominable Dr. Fives is good. Hellraiser is
Hellraiser's good.
amazing balls. I
Yeah.
love me some Hellraiser. I was thinking about this the other day. Hellraiser is so undervalued in what it actually is as a film. From
Yeah.
a special effects standpoint, groundbreaking. The whole scene where Frank is being created out of the ground, that was amazing. Even to today's standards, that was amazing special effects.
Yeah.
Costumes and atmospheres were just fantastic. But it was at its core about a sort of tortured family. And that's something that in reflection, we think of Hellraiser and we're like, oh, well, it was, it's Pinhead. It's
Yeah.
about a guy who likes to, tear people up with hooks.
Right.
But that's missing the entire story of Hellraiser, which is about passion and loss and and hunger for life itself and hell. Like it's so deep, and it's all wrapped around this wonderful family of this man as a father who adores his daughter, loves his new second wife, but no, it's his first wife, but his wife is in love with his brother, Frank. And it's
Happens all the time.
Yeah, this tortured triangle, and he's not even aware of it. He is completely ignorant to it. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so damn good, man. That film is so good.
Rick saying the Texas Chainsaw is great. Now,
yeah.
I agree, man. That original. Oh, jeez.
Okay, but so there's a bunch of sequels to the original, but there's also a remake of the original. What did you think of the remake?
I liked it. I felt like they really stayed true to the original film, the formula. And then having Arlie Ermy in that motherfucker. I mean, that was awesome.
Dude,
so good.
He's so scary. He's so scary. It's such a great film. It really was. This is what I don't understand is sometimes remakes are really quite good. Like if you reflect on Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a series, the first one was groundbreaking, and the others kind of were just like, well, we want to kind of revisit it for some money. But they weren't good. They weren't great at all.
Right.
And they were barely watchable, in my opinion. But the remake was amazing. It brought back the scare and horror and everything. Friday the 13th series. Purely garbage. That whole series is just a hot mess of garbage. 1 and 4 were good, but the rest were just dumb as balls. And then they get the remake, and it brought it all back. And you're like, oh, this is actually a really good remake.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I love all of the original series. I will always love it. I even love the TV series that came out of Nightmare on Elm Street. But I enjoyed the remake. I thoroughly loved it. I thought it was great and scary. And that one line makes the entire film for me. Why are you screaming? I haven't even cut you yet. It's so good. That is so good. If I ever hear anyone say that to me with a glove of knives and a melted fucking face, I would start peeing myself. What can you do? Oh,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
What else do we have in here?
Let's see.
We have House of a Thousand Corpses from Dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too goddamn long. That's how long a piece of string is. That is such a good film. House of a Thousand Corpses, again, undervalued because everyone latched on to the sequel, Devil's Rejects, which is great. But House of a Thousand Corpses was like the greatest comic book horror film ever made. Like the colors, the music, the mood, the scares, the laughs, the comments. I still think all the time I like to get fucked up and do some fucked up shit. Like, oh my God. Name, Goober.
Well, and the first scene where you first see Sherry Moon Zombie walking across the parking lot in those cut off shorts. Oh my God!
I filed for divorce papers that very day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they came through. So
I'm definitely not being held against my will.
Yeah.
Those who know Morse code.
But obviously though that movie is such an homage to the horror movies of the 70s. You know, just the whole feel of that movie is just amazing.
Yeah. You know, I've been really enjoying lately.
What's that?
On Shudder, there's a series called The Last Drive-In, and it's just hosted by this guy that I never knew of, but Cameron, our buddy Cameron knew, Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
From his previous works, totally new to me. But he just watches an old film that he loves, and then where a normal commercial break would be for regular TV viewers, he comes in and just tells a little bit about the story or just rants and raves, and that's it. And it's great. And they're so good. They're films I would never have seen if it weren't for this series.
Yeah.
So good. And he did a whole Halloween Hootenanny series where he did Halloween 1, 3, 4, and 5. It was amazing. So good. You guys
he's great. I mean, he's kind of... He doesn't look like your typical horror movie aficionado at all. You
Yeah.
know, looks like some cowboy or something.
Yeah.
But he's very knowledgeable, and just the depth he knows of that all the movies is just great.
Hell yeah. It's
Dig that.
really good. I've been enjoying it.
Hell yeah.
Jeremy, Shudder is amazing. So Shudder, for those of you who don't know, Shudder is a horror movie streaming service like Netflix or Hulu, but it's only horror films, and it's tons of great stuff. They have their original content, which is all really great, but they source horror films from not just America, but all other countries. And so you get Korean and Pakistani and Chinese and Russian and French and Italian horror films all wrapped up into this one little service, and then they sort of curate it and release it. It's amazing. It's like $5 a month, and you get unlimited access to all the horror that your poor brain can handle. It is so what I like to do is sort of jump month to month from different services, because I'd like to see a couple different types of shows that aren't on, you know, one single service. So we'll like stop like HBO Now, for example, and then pick up Shudder, or then start Stars, and then stop Stars and go pick up something else. And we'll just do that until we've seen the shows that we love to watch.
Nice.
Then we're gonna have to now squeeze in Star Wars, or I mean Disney Plus, for The Mandalorian, because
Oh yeah.
I have to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect that's gonna be really good.
The previews look great. I mean, I am a little disappointed they're not going to do a major release of it, though.
You mean like a film?
Yeah, like a full-on
like
theater.
10 hours the first season. Like that would be a hell of a. That'd be a hell of a release.
Is it not worth it?
I don't know. It may suck. I don't know yet. I'm hoping it's good.
It'll be great.
Yeah. And you're right, Jared. Disney is like the overlords at this point. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. And it's not just Disney either. Like I think of, I look at Facebook and what they're doing, where they're not only are they like clench fist over all of your personal data, all of you suckers who are part of social media in Facebook, Instagram space, they're now trying to get currency off the ground. Like this is how the world like gets turned into like corporate Wall-E world, because we're already suffering at the hands of almighty Amazon, who is just doing insane things. Now we have Disney. The next up is Facebook. And if they break through, because they're already controlling news, they're controlling complete narratives for the majority of people who use their services. They feed them into this feedback loop circle, so you never get outside perspectives at all. They're destroying what it means to interact as human beings. They're taking monopoly by monopoly, and now they're going to try to take your damn money too. I mean, come on, people.
It's not, but I mean, we are letting them do that. I mean, that is well, not you per se.
But this is my point: is we're letting them do it.
You are letting.
Why the fuck are people letting them do it? Is it that important to see what your grandma thinks when it's not Thanksgiving?
Do you know why it's that important? Because of the fucking Epstein memes. That's it.
He was choked to death, man.
But honestly, though, it's really scary, you know, to what people will surrender knowingly or unknowingly. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they're going to allow, hell, I hate to think of what they will have out before long.
Yeah. You know what? I prefer to leak my own nudes. I don't need Facebook doing it for me. Okay? I'm going to leak my own private messages to people who shouldn't see them. But more often than not, I'm going to say it to their face.
That's right.
After having drank a little bit. As it should be. As
more dick pics on YouTube. That's what's coming.
Number one. I could pull a Jim Morrison and just use my thumb.
That's right. That's right.
People be like, he's got his penis. Looks exactly, it's a thumbnail. His penis has a nail. I clip it.
Maybe
so
it's
it
just
hurt.
really deformed, okay? It happens with age, Adam. Just accept it.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I was going to go in a whole like ball sagging rant, but I will save everyone that particular
Well, yeah.
agony. I will complain that I have to use glasses now. That is a new one for me, like very very recent. And
Oh,
I was like doing my best to stave it off and not even admit it because I was doing a lot of like long-handed reading of my
oh
phone and
yeah.
stuff. Like my wife would hand me something and I'd be like, "Okay, yep, okay, I gotcha." And then I go to the doctor for my annual physical, which, however, people, if you don't go for annual physicals and biannual, twice a year, dental visits, checkups, you got to do that stuff. All right.
Have
Preventative medicine is the only way you're going to stave off serious problems. So go see
exactly.
your damn doctor. So I went to see her and I told her that I was concerned about my vision because I had a hard time seeing up front, and so she took me to that eye test, which is like at the end of a hall, and I'm like, no, in front of my face I can't see very well. It's all blurry. At a distance, it's fine. She's like, will you just read it? And so I read it, and she's like, you have over 20/20 vision. What are you complaining about? I'm like, are you not hearing what I'm saying? It's close up, not far away, you fucking tard. God damn, like, are
Yeah.
you a doctor? What the
Yeah.
fuck? Do you not listen to what I'm saying?
No, no, not at all. They don't care.
God damn.
But yeah, I'm getting the same thing. You know, I had LASIK done last year, so now I can see a mile away. It's amazing. But yeah, up close is starting to get blurry, and
After
that's
LASIK, it's getting blurry?
yeah. And they said when I had LASIK, they gave me the option. You know, do you want to have one eye set for close up and one eye for distance, or and I was like, fuck no, put them both so I can see a long fucking way. Like I can get, reading glasses if I need to read shit up close. Like, don't be fucking stupid. But, but doing that, the thing I found in my last one, and it's really difficult for me. I keep putting it off. I can't hear anymore, and
Really?
it's getting worse and worse. And my lovely, lovely wife thinks that I don't listen a lot of times. It's actually, I can't fucking hear. And that's years of playing music and then
Mm-hmm.
years of blowing shit up in the army.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I've got to bite the bullet soon and go get the actual ears checked and
Oh,
probably,
man.
and oh, fuck.
Oh, dude, we are getting so old.
That's why I fucking drink. I can still do this.
That is so terrible. Yeah, I don't want that to. I need my hearing.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn it, I need my hearing so bad. Like when my allergies were really kicking in, I lost my sense of smell and taste. I mean, I could smell like
Oh,
strong stuff, but like subtle things and like food and stuff, I couldn't smell or really taste that well.
yeah.
And then I finally got my system on the right medication, and it just flooded back. I was like, I can smell now I'm smelling stuff that my family can't smell. I'm like, and I'm starting to think, is this like a stroke? Am I smelling toast because I'm having a stroke, or because I actually smell toast and no one else? No, I have like super smell now. It's crazy. Good and bad, people. Good and
Yeah, I could see you sitting in your house now, and you're like, the neighbors, they have chicken. You know,
it's usually where I'm like sitting watching TV. I'm like, oh, oh, what is that smell? Who shit right on my nose? And my wife's like, I don't smell anything. I'm like, how do you not smell that? Like berating her for this obviously bad smell. And then she like walks closer to the dog and it hits her like a train. And she's
she's
like,
like,
oh my
oh,
gosh, I can smell it now. I'm like, see, I'm like a fucking smell ninja, dude.
yeah.
I can
Mate.
smell your pussy from here. To quote Silence from the Lambs.
Yeah,
Love the Lambs.
that's about right. I could Adam watching adult films. He's like, I can smell how sexy she is. She's so turned on.
Usually it's like this green. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
No, it's not good though. It's not good most of the time because then I can smell the bad things.
Yeah.
That's just, like I feel like we live in a spoiled age for smell. Think 100 years ago.
Yeah.
They didn't have the standards of cleanliness that we do nowadays. Think 150 years ago. When did we get soap? As like
Yeah.
when did we get shampoo? Like when did we get body wash? Like these
Right.
things that we take for granted that, oh yes, we're all cleansed and like scraping all of the natural bacteria off of our skin to our own detriment, but we're like, but we have to stay clean for my Insta photo. And then just our grandparents, the shit they had to smell on a regular basis. Like,
Yeah.
think about this. 2-ply toilet paper.
Right.
When was that invented? Like
But if
100?
But if you look at most people back in those days, they had like 20 kids.
Mhm.
And so, the doctor had it right, in the Satanic Witch, talking about the natural perfumes of the human body attracting and whatnot.
Yeah, the pheromones.
Yeah, you don't have as many kids these days because you're so clean, or maybe you're just smart because they cost a fortune.
You know what is interesting? This may be a little personal. My son's girlfriend asked him to like wear her coat for a while or use her blanket for a while because she likes his scent. And so
Yeah.
she wanted that scent on her stuff. And I was like, wow, they're literally reacting to what I read as a kid, in the Satanic Bible,
Yeah,
Satanic Witch, Complete Witch. And then they have no connection to that at all.
right.
They're just picking it up because they're having the real life experience of it. And
Yeah.
to the point where I read that, I never really thought about it, so I never even considered it. It's interesting that they're tapped into that, and at their age, I was so oblivious to it until I had to read about it. Like, it's really interesting, I thought.
It is. It is.
And I was like, how does she like your smell? You stink, dude. You're a teenage boy. You smell like BO and farts. Like and stale cum. Like, that's what you smell like.
Maybe that's what she's into. I mean,
Some people like leather. Some people like stale cum.
I
Who
mean,
am I?
who's to account for taste? I mean, oh, that's
It is
awesome.
weird though, like just the idea, like you would be walking through. I mean, that's why perfume was invented, people. All of you perfume wearers out there, it was meant to mask funk,
Yeah.
not to like liven up your natural aroma or something.
No, not at all.
And isn't it kind of weird that you would go out of your way to smell like some crusty old celebrity? That seems weird to me. Like you idolize
is.
someone so
It is.
much that you want to smell like them.
Yeah,
Weird.
that's pretty weird, man. I don't know. I mean, the the Johnny Depp perfume. I mean, that guy has to smell like some.
Dude, I bet you money he smells like stale wine, like old wine, like wino wine,
Right.
and just cum. Like that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say a whore's vagina.
I think both of those are equal. I mean, they're comparable, really.
Could you imagine the smell of him and Manson when they hang out together?
Dude, he wears so many scarves. I bet he's like always sweating from so much satin and like I don't know what he has, like polyester blended. I don't know, micro woven scarves, but he has more scarves than Steven Tyler, dude. That's what,
oh God.
I feel like Johnny Depp has scarves for his scarves. Like his scarves have scarves.
Yeah, he totally has to, man.
It's so ridiculous.
But there is one smell that sticks out in my head. There's this perfume. I have no idea what the name of it is. But it always reminds me of the Dixie Chicks. Because when I met them, they had this very distinct smell, and it was awesome because I was really into how they looked at the time, and of course not. Anyway, but every time I smell that, I'm like, ooh, Dixie Chick.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It was very, very strong.
So, all right,
Some
Stephanie,
heavy flirting. That
If he
happens.
gives you that perfume, no, he's not thinking about you. He's thinking about the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm getting for you, Adam.
Jared and Cheetos. Yeah, I want you to smell like the Dixie Chicks. Like an idiot, I'll be like, "Oh, Sex Panther? Oh, it must be
Sure.
good." Stings the
60% of the
nostrils.
time.
It really burns the nostrils. It's pungent. That's another one. Anchorman,
Oh,
filled
my
with great quotes. Every time I watch it, I laugh out loud. It is so genuinely funny.
It is. Don't act like you're not impressed.
San Diego. It means a whale's vagina.
Agree to disagree.
And Christina Applegate. Oh my gosh, I've had a thing for her since Married with Children when I was a child. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched her grow up, and she has been in some really, really solid comedies and
Yeah.
drama roles that I don't think she's getting any props for.
No.
But she's great. This is how stupid I am. Hey, Shauna, it's kicking in. So, I just totally lost my fucking train of thought. I was watching like a commercial, and it struck me odd that a commercial was coming on because I never watch TV, so I don't ever watch a commercial anymore. But whatever I was watching had a commercial, and she was in it. It was like a Hershey's chocolate or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so enamored with her that not only did I shush everyone in the room so I could hear her perform in the commercial, afterward, I had a conversation about what a great actress she was in the commercial. Like, she was magical. I didn't know what the fuck. It was great. It was just great.
Nice. Oh, my goodness.
Just so you know, Shauna, that's the +1. Christina Applegate. Oy
I
vey.
can see that.
That would be awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If she was just like, I just wanted to slum it with some random filthy dude, so here I am. I'd be like, fuck yeah!
Hi.
Fuck
You're
yeah!
here for a party.
Oh man. And it's like Cameron who pulls his mask off. Like, all right, come on.
Okay.
Who might have fucking, you put up all the effort. Lube my ass again, honey. This is gonna happen.
Christina's penis is a lot bigger than I imagined.
So weird. Oh man.
Oh shit.
Hey, let me know what you think about this.
Okay.
Let me throw this at you.
Throw it.
Nice catch.
Ooh.
I was thinking, there's copyright issues, of course, but I was gonna finish out reading the Satanic Bible
Yeah.
on this channel, and then I was thinking, what if I just did the Complete Witch next? It would
Yeah.
take a long time.
It would.
And I said this to you and your wife totally proved me wrong through her own personal experience, but
Mhm.
I was like, no one's ever read the Satanic Witch. People who say they love the Satanic Witch have never actually read. They've read parts. They've read passages, maybe a chapter or 5, but they've never read through the entire Satanic Witch. I was thinking, why not just do it? Just read
Do
the
it.
whole fucking thing. Like, who would get pissed? Like, who am I taking money out of their pocket for doing it? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I feel like at this point, why not?
Yeah. I mean,
Take care, Rick. Thanks for stopping in, man.
I can't lie to you. That was a tough one to get through. That was a tough one to get through for me.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of really good parts, but you know, as you alluded to, Stephanie did. She made it through it really quickly.
Show off.
She's like, "Oh yeah, I knew all this already." So next, you know.
You're like, damn. Who the
Yeah.
hell did I marry?
Yeah.
It's a natural witch.
She's magical.
Do
Very
you
magical.
believe in magic? Yeah, David, I've never read it. Valeria, I've read that in its entirety. Nice. Good for you. Satanic Witch is a really useful book. It is very useful. There's a lot of really great Jared. There's a lot of really great information that is relevant to today in The
Oh
Satanic
yes.
Witch. Like, it is genuinely good. It holds up. Interesting thoughts, even parts of it that you may not agree with. The principle behind it is sound. I
It
mean, the
is.
whole thing is just really great.
Yeah. Yeah. It really teaches. I feel like really rounds out, even for a man, the lesser magic aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Just in life, not
Mhm.
not including the opposite sex, which is there too to
Yeah.
see what they're up to and what they're doing. But absolutely, it was a really good read, but it was really tough to get through, and
Yeah.
there were parts that I was like, okay, okay, I get it.
I had parts where I was reading it and like in my head, I'm just like drifting. And then I get
Yeah,
to like a statement. I'm like, wait, what? What? And then I have to go back and like try to understand what I just read because it didn't make any sense. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I understand that. And I'm thinking about it later. I'm like, I couldn't explain that to anyone if I tried. I'm not
no,
sure I actually understand that. And so I have to go back again and read the damn part again. Like,
yeah.
that's
I'm
usually
glad-
for those of you people who've been like watching stuff that or listening to stuff that I've done. A lot, a lot of the subjects that I cover are things that I just figured out, and so I wanted to share them.
Yeah,
It wasn't because I was like trying to help anyone. It was just like me. I was like Trump. Like, you learn a new fact and you're like, no one ever knew healthcare was so difficult and challenging. No one ever knew. Like, I learned a brand new fact and I had to shout it to the world. Hey guys, guess what? If you sweat, you stink. I never knew.
surprise, surprise.
I just thought people were running because they like to run away from me.
Yeah.
Every day.
It happens, Adam. It's okay. It's okay. They come back.
Sometimes.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of reading, though,
Yeah.
I almost did a Adam Campbell inspired video of mail call today.
No, you should have.
Got a nice little package in the mail, and I just wasn't feeling it, and I didn't want to half-ass the thing. I wanted to give it the full Adam treatment, But I got a copy of the interview with the ringmaster today from our
Sweet.
friend Colin. Man, I can't wait to read that. That
Nice.
sounds so good, so good.
Yeah, he's good people.
Yeah. It was a good climb, having him on the climb, and
That hike, yeah.
yeah, it really made me not feel so bad because he would stop, and I was like, well, I guess I have to stop too. And inside, I'm thinking, oh, thank God he stopped because I can't fucking breathe anymore. And then you look up the trail, and there's Adam, like, top of what the fuck you guys doing? Come on, pussies, move it.
I was just like I told you guys on the way up. I'm like, this is a steep initial hike in. Like, just be warned. I don't think you guys fully understood what I was saying, like the severity that I was meaning, because it is like that in some places.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was really steep, and then you add the ice factor to it, and it was slip sliding all over the place, and but it was good times. I mean, getting to the top was quite amazing, and
yeah, I enjoyed the top. What we didn't get any on any camera, which is absurd. There was like 3 gigantic ravens that were like just flying right next to our faces and just sort of swarming around like we were going to be dead in a couple minutes, and they wanted to take our eyeballs or something.
They knew. They knew.
They were like, "We know what's coming. You're not getting off this mountain. That's dinner."
Yeah, they saw the High West. They were like, "Oh, these fuckers are dead."
Yeah, it was funny. That was the first day that I had the memory stick in my Tesla.
Oh yeah.
And so it was on Sentry mode. And what that means is anytime anyone comes near my car, it starts recording, like 4 different cameras. No matter what happens, it just records. And then when the action stops, it stops recording. So when I get in the car, I get an alert saying you've had 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever incidents. And so I take the stick out and I put it in my computer and I download all the video and I'm watching, and it was a girl driving in right next to my car, getting out in these like super tight little short things, getting ready for the hike and then hiking away. I felt like such a damn pervert watching that footage. Like, even though
Over and over again.
it's my, after the 300th view, I was like, is this weird? I wonder if I should stop. This is weird, right? No? I'll watch another couple times.
No.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah. It's not creepy. It's not creepy.
But I feel like a straight up voyeur. It's almost like perverse, like that, like they don't know they're being watched. Ooh, you know? It's weird. And I feel like it's enabling my natural perversions to kick in. Because now I'm hoping like some crazy hot chick will just run up to my car and flash it.
Right?
Why not? Because then I'd have video of it. And it would be awesome. But I'm like, what?
Oh,
I feel like a superhero who's just come into his power and
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do with it. I'm like, I have
yeah.
this power of proximity of my car. What can I do with it? I'm like, have they done pornos yet of that, where it's just Tesla car
yes.
footage?
Yes. Yes, they have.
That's what I'm talking about, man. We got to do something like that, where it's like just crazy, like set up a crazy horror scene or a murder or something,
Oh,
and just record it via Tesla. That could be a nice little like short, like a 20-minute short, like a Tesla's like backed into right in front of like a Halloween house or a haunted house or something, and then just shit that happens behind it.
It gives me so many ideas. If you do get to visit in the coming months, we can totally do a short film of that.
Oh, we should, man. It would be awesome if okay. So I want to set up a quick scene here.
Yeah.
What if? So it views it from basically the side view mirrors and back in a really wide arc, and then at the very front and the very back. What if on one of the side mirrors it showed like someone sort of like stumble into view? It only shows parts of their bodies. You don't see their full head or anything. A little bit of blood drips down on the floor or on their hands as they're crawling away, screaming, but there's no sound. Makes it creepier. And then you see them just drop down as if they were stabbed or hit with something large, and just blood is welling out, right? And then you see one of your daughters walk past. And like...
I see that in my dreams every night. They're gonna murder me, so it's.
How do you like the werewolf mask now, motherfucker?
Remember that, Dad? Oh no, that is the worst. You know, my oldest daughter, on occasion, she's really brave and likes to watch scary movies, scary shows, and. I mean, sure as shit, every time she does, she has nightmares. And she comes to my side of the bed, and it's like the barely touching you thing. Dad. Oh, there's been times like I've woken up and swung, you know, and because I'm like,
after the dental work to reconstruct her cheek.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen what was that movie? The 80s movie with the guy with the really fucked up face.
Every 80s movie ever.
There you go. He looks like an 80s movie star.
I'm dying.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Thank you guys. Was that?
Mask. Jared with the win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a really good show, actually. I was talking about that with someone recently.
Yeah.
Cher was the mom.
That's right. That's right.
Great. Cher in her day. She looks great today, which is weird.
Does. Yeah.
Weird, but and the guy's name, the redhead from Pulp Fiction, he was in The Prophecy.
Oh my God.
Can't think of his name right now. He was the guy, the mask kid.
Yeah, Eric. Stoltz. That's right.
Eric Stoltz.
Yep.
He's
Eric
great.
Stoltz.
He's really great.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, in this, so he for the people who don't know, Mask is a movie. It looks like a made-for-TV movie, but it's a movie about a real-life event, like person. But it's Eric Stoltz is the guy, the Mask, and it's just this kid who has a really messed up face. He was just born with a genetic defect. His mom is Cher, who, she sort of dates bikers and stuff, pretty white trash. And he's just being like, as you would expect, bullied and just depressed. And it's all seen through his eyes of his life. And then it has some tragic ending and stuff. So you guys have to watch it if you haven't seen it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Super good. Super good.
Eric Stoltz. Thank you, dog. Schmaltz, what were we saying before? It was Eric Schmuckers. Schmaltzstein.
Stolhansky.
Sam Elliott was in that. Oh, I don't remember him in that.
Oh, that's
was
right.
Was he the biker boyfriend?
That's right. Yeah.
Dude, Sam Elliott is awesome. He's great.
Badass, dude.
He's just great in everything. He's great. He's one of those people that's sort of like a persona. He's like a caricature of himself.
He is.
You know what I mean?
He one of my favorite movies he's in, it's Roadhouse. So fucking good. So fucking good.
You're saying the movie Roadhouse is good?
Roadhouse. Damn right.
With starring Patrick Swayze in his prime.
Hey, the man could dance fight like nobody else. I only remember.
Did we ever get a Kevin Bacon Patrick Swayze crossover?
I don't know.
That would be a great dance movie.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Dirty Dancing v Footloose in an epic romance for the homosexual ages.
That'd be amazing.
Come on, people, we can deep fake this shit nowadays. Let's do this. Roadhouse. Okay, what did you like about Roadhouse?
As I said, Sam Elliott. He makes the movie. I mean, I know Patrick Swayze and the tall blonde that was in every 80s movie showing her tits. I get that, right? That's what everybody's about. Sam Elliott is the best in that movie because of he's just being himself.
Yeah.
The scene where he finally goes and meets up with the guy at the Roadhouse while he's getting the shit kicked out of him. He walks up and he kicks the guy in the knee. Just damn, that hurts, don't it? Like,
dude, he could draw just like her, don't it? Like he's so good. Oh my gosh, he's great.
But in all seriousness, though, like the depth he added to Justified, the season he was on, God, that was so good.
He's great. That whole series holds up. So it's hard for me to say that one actor added so much when you look at every season and every single role, those actors are all holding up. Like whether they're the white supremacist shit kicking losers or whether they're fucking the DEA agent or every single role is cast with an amazing actor who is there to bring it, and they're going to do their best. It's one of those series that it's like Deadwood, for example, where Deadwood is full of characters, and then after you've fallen in love with the characters, you start to notice the story behind them, and you start to care about the story because you care about the characters. Justified is the exact same way. Ugh,
totally.
So good.
And the writing on that, especially the first, I think, 2 to 3 seasons, Elmore Leonard was involved as an executive producer, and it's so good. And it's so accurate for that part of Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, really?
I mean, watching that, seeing people, I'm like, I know that guy. Like, totally know that.
Honey, I'm on TV. Come look.
Yeah, it's got got the Confederate flag flying on their in their trailer, and oh my God, yeah, it watching that show, it really, when I feel homesick for Kentucky, I watch that show and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, I want to throw a wrench into this really quick before we head out, because we're already at our hour point here.
Okay.
You mentioned the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of hearing people say that they love the Confederate flag because of their Southern heritage. When the Confederacy broke away from the Union, they were no longer part of the Union. Hence, they're not part of the North or South. They are fucking an invading army into the sovereign United States. So let's stop pretending that it's a cultural thing and just admit the reality that they were fucking trying to overthrow the United States and they were not a part of the United States. It's like any invading army ever. It's Germany going into fucking Poland is what the South tried to do to the North when they fucking separated because they wanted slavery. And that's what that flag represents. It does not represent Southern charm or hospitality. No. It represents rebels breaking from the fucking country that you claim you're such a fucking fan of. So let's drop the fucking act already.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I had
jealous.
That's awesome. I had ancestors that fought for the South during the Civil War, and to me, it's like they were fucking traitors. Yeah. You're traitors to your country, and it's a whole load of bullshit.
And here's the thing: like, everyone has bad in their history.
Sure.
Right? Everyone likes things that are inherently bad.
Yeah.
We don't look away from car accidents. Let's not revel in someone else's misery, and yet, kind of dig it. We don't. Horror films are terrible. We would never do anything like that in real life, but we love to watch them. We love to see the shocking stuff. When you find out that your ancestor was an outlaw, you're kind of excited. You like that. It's fun.
Right.
We're Satanists.
Yeah.
Like, we like the things that are perceived as negative. And so I don't mind someone saying, no, I recognize the Confederate flag for what it is, but it's a part of my history, and good or bad, I'm gonna dig it, and I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna fly it. What I don't like is the disingenuous assholes that try to pretend that that's not the case. Like, I don't mind if you liked someone or you liked a symbol that meant slavery. I don't give a fuck. But understand that we all know that's what it is that you like, and stop trying to sugarcoat it or pretend it's something else. Own it.
Own it. Exactly. Be responsible. I mean, in the high school I went to, our mascot was the Rebel. And I shit you not, in that high school, Rebel flags hung in the around the American flag in the courtyard, and Rebel flags painted on the basketball court and the football field and all that shit. And people would say, even my mom, who was there when that the whole school started, and they voted on that, and they were like, well, it was about heritage and all that. But you have to realize what that represented.
Yeah, what is it a heritage of? It's a heritage of slavery.
I mean, there is all that other stuff, but if you have something where you're enslaving other human beings, that is not fucking good. You can't ignore that part while embracing all the other parts.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They finally did away with the school, but up until even 2012, I believe it was, when visiting schools would come play our teams, they would not allow an audience for the game because the visiting schools had African Americans playing on their
teams. Oh my gosh.
So you would have state police. They would let the teams in, then they would lock the doors, and they would play the game to an empty gymnasium.
Whoa.
Yeah. Unbelievable, sir.
All right. That being said, I want to make it clear, if you own it and you're honest about what it is, I don't care.
Yeah.
But if you try
Exactly.
to pretend it's something other than it is, just so that you don't look like a bad boy or girl, well, then you're just being a fucking idiot. I will say I'm not sure where I land on the idea of like taking down Civil War, Southern generals and taking down their statues or renaming public places that were named after them. I'm not sure where I land on that. I don't. I mean, I don't really have a dog in the fight, so I don't really care. But just from my own perspective, I'm not afraid of the reality of history. And if we reflect on history honestly, then we could
Yep.
potentially learn something from it and then be able to make adjustments so we don't repeat the negative parts of it or what we currently perceive as the negative parts of it. And so I don't mind it as a learning tool. What I don't like, certainly, is pretending it's something that's not, but maybe even more, I don't like whitewashing everything. I don't like the idea that let's just not talk about it anymore. Let's tear it down and let's forget about it and let's, where did the South begin and end? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're one country. No, we need to have this conversation because this conversation is going to not only educate us on the realities and the truth so that when someone feeds you a bunch of bullshit that says, no, it's about heritage, not hate, then you can call them on it. Like, we need the truth out there. I
Yep.
certainly don't like the idea of because our modern sensibilities say this, we must wipe away that from everything in the past. I think that's a dangerous place to be. We can reflect on human history where that's happened, where you had French soldiers in Napoleon's army just defacing and outright burning centers of ancestral knowledge.
Right.
They just tore it away. You have Spanish armies decimating American history in South America. You just, throughout all of our history, we have tried to whitewash what is to the detriment of everyone that comes after. And we are in a unique position where we have the knowledge of some of what we've lost so that we can hate the idea of doing it again, perpetuating it into the future, and yet we're still fucking doing it with our recent history. Like, that's the
Yep.
part that kind of bugs me. So if someone created this work of art of a figure who was a villain, well, let's just make sure people understand that that's what it is. But to destroy that work of art, can you imagine what it takes out of a person to craft out of fucking stone a fucking sculpture? Like, that's amazing.
It is. It is, and you're absolutely right. I mean, destroying it and trying to hide that it ever happened is really, in my opinion, not the way to go because then we don't learn anything from our history and we're doomed to repeat our mistakes as a society.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do think it is weird that in Germany how any remnants of the Nazi Party and the horrors that they caused, they try to completely destroy it, and to a certain respect, I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, it's like we need it there. You need a reminder of what can happen.
Mm. Well, like you run a risk when you wipe away a history or try to wipe it away from memory
Hmm.
of actually doing the opposite of what you're trying to do. The process of wiping it away means you don't want other people to know about it, but then you create a mystery around it, which attracts people to it. Like,
Yeah.
everyone wants to know what they don't know. You see a magic trick and you're like, what the oh, yeah, I gotta learn how to do that. I gotta look it up. And you cheat on YouTube or something.
Right.
Whatever that thing is, like, that's what we do. And so you try to whitewash a history, especially something as twisted as World War II and the
Yeah.
Nazi Party. You make it alluring to a large faction of people. And you see that with every one of the 100 billion documentaries and special features and novels and bios and like everything that goes into what is Hitler and Nazi and Germany World War II lore. you attract people to it. So I totally agree in my long-winded fucking way with what you just said.
No,
Damn, sorry.
Perfectly said. Perfectly
All right,
said.
we should probably wrap this up. It's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
We've been on for an hour. I enjoyed chatting with you, man.
Oh,
This is fun.
always. I mean, I tell you every time I see you, and you know, I try to tell you here is you know, I wish we did live closer because it would be a whole lot of fun. I mean, I'm sure we'd be in a lot more trouble, but
I guarantee.
Yes.
Remember that guy? I guarantee.
Tesla films being made.
Oh man, what a trip! All right, everyone, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us and chatting with us in the chat room here. I think we would have ran out of steam if it weren't for your comments and questions after like 20 minutes. So thank you guys for participating in the conversation while we're having it here. And again, this thing that this is, it's just it's two friends getting together and having a chat and interacting with you guys at the same time. So it's kind of like our weekly meeting of, or I don't know, I don't want to set like a weird thought that it's going to be every week, but it's just
you did it.
It's on. It's just a friendly get together where we like to share experiences and thoughts, and you guys are a part of that, whether you're on camera or not. And I want you to know that you're appreciated. Wes, of course, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being willing and able to jump on with me.
Oh, thanks for the invite, and you know, to echo what you said. I mean, this is something that when we do get together, you know, this is what we do with the folks around us, just getting to kind of BS and bounce things off each other, and you know, it's like our own little virtual living room where we're shit.
Yeah, no, I like that idea. I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, everyone, come on, take a seat. Helmet's nice chair. That's like a sports thing.
Don't sit in that chair. Oh my God.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, keep that Satan inside you. Said that. Hail Satan, people.
Hail the Satan.
Keep the Satan inside you.
That's what she said.
So we're gonna look at each other and we're like longingly almost kiss.
Yeah, it's so close. I can smell it. You're like, no, don't.